So now that the 100K is over, I'm tapering for a couple of weeks, just, lowering the intensity. I didn't stop exercising because movement is life, but, I'm just not focusing on performance, not doing anything crazy. And so I'm really taking this moment, it's gonna be a couple of weeks before I start my preparation for the Ironman in October. And I'm going to take this time to fine tune all the diabetes things that I need to fine tune, especially the basal ratios and the rapid insulin ratios, so the bolus ratios and the correction factors. Phase one I already did, which is the basal testing. Took me like 1 week, a little bit more, but it was super helpful and super useful because now my foundation is much more stable, and I see that it's reflecting on my blood sugar stability, so that's great. And now it's time for phase number 2, which is correction factors and basal testing, bolus testing, sorry. The way I'm going to do this is pretty simple. I'm going to try to remove, at least for a while, some variables that could introduce, complexity into my day and confuse the results of this experiment. And so what I'm going to do, since it's Sunday, I'm, cleaning the house, meal prepping and things. I thought I would just really quickly, show you what I'm doing. So here I'm meal prepping. Here there is some soup, and I have rice and chickpeas for the most part. And the purpose of this here, I'm cutting some more carrots because I love carrots and they're going in here. But yeah, so the goal with this is to really have standard meals with macros that I know, like a certain amount of carbs, of protein, of fats, so that I can, every day at the same time eat the same thing and really understand, try to draw some conclusion, based on what I see in terms of my blood sugars, how they are behaving and whatnot. And so what I'm going to do after every meal, I will essentially be taking notes here. Oh my God, my table is all ruined. But yeah, I'm going to be taking notes and be like, okay, these are the macros. This is the ratio. These are, from a couple of weeks ago. So totally irrelevant for now. But, I'm going to take my ratios for the day, and then for each meal, this is the correction factor. And then I'm going to, try to inform my decision every time. So, okay, at breakfast, I know that I have this ratio, and with that meal, this happened. So next morning, I'm going to do the same or change something based on my blood sugar patterns. I'm going to do the same for lunch and then for dinner. Also trying to keep not only the same food, but also the same timing of the meal. Again, maybe some people don't like it. It's actually not a big deal for me, but I find that it's impossible to understand really what are your actual insulin needs if you always, chase your meals. So since I don't have any commitments, any social commitments in the next week, I'm just going to run this test so that when, I will have some birthdays in the summer, some social, meeting up with friends at the lake, at the sea. And of course, the day is now going to be a black box in those days. If I know my ratios, if I know what I need and why and when and based on what factors, then I will be much more likely to navigate those days with the unpredictability in a much more, blood sugar friendly way, in a much more predictable way. And so yeah, this is really what I'm going to do. So basal testing done, now bolus testing and correction factor testing. So this is gonna be interesting, and let's see. All right, hope it is useful, and if you have type 1 diabetes, do this stuff. Track it with pen and paper. It helps a ton.